War. Huh. Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Welcome back to Diversity Catalog. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. This is your reminder to like and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, please rate the podcast 5 stars. And follow on social media at Diversity Catalog on Instagram, TikTok, as well as X. A lot of stuff has transpired since the last time we were here. I believe the last time we recorded, Israel had bombed Iran, correct?
Yeah,
we talked about that.
Israel.
Yeah.
And then I believe it was Saturday night. Was it Saturday night?
Like yes,
No.
like
Friday
this
night?
Saturday.
We recorded last time Iran bombed Israel too.
Right, but we bombed them.
Yeah, we bombed them.
US
on,
Oh,
That's
yeah. I think it was Saturday
Saturday
night.
night.
No, yeah, it was Saturday night because I
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
I walked into the Pride Parade. It was like 8:15, and it literally I just read it.
Oh.
No one here knows
that was
about
actually
war.
probably lit.
He looks up. Phew, phew, phew.
Yeah, getting the war confirmation at the parade.
Yeah. But yeah, the U.S. then retaliated and bombed the 3 nuclear bases in Iran. I don't know the names of them, to be honest. But before we get into that, I will say Mike's only going to be here for about, half hour? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
So we're going to get the war stuff out of the way first because Mike's our
War correspondent.
He's a
Mike's our war
I need like a helmet or something.
Mike's been on the ground.
Yeah, I was on the
doing
front lines
recording,
doing
so
the
we're gonna
reporting.
get into it. Should we announce the breaking news that happened just now, or
Yeah.
wait?
We might as well
Yeah, announce the breaking news just happened right now.
Between us
Literally,
filming
do
the
it
fucking
now.
intro and
Yeah,
posting
us-
the intro.
us coming up with the intro and then filming it.
Yeah.
Angelo goes, the war's over.
war
So the
ended.
White House and President Trump have basically announced that apparently the Israel-Iran war conflict, whatever you want to call it, is ended. This came directly from Donald Trump's Donald Trump's.
The twump.
It's not an X account.
Truth Social.
What's
Truth
this shit
Social.
called?
Yeah, but he posted tags. Yeah.
Yeah, but they take a picture and post it on
Yeah,
X. It's
Donald
so
Trump
fucking
posted, "Congratulations to everyone," all caps.
Thank God.
It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately. So we have 6 hours left for a nuke.
They have a deadline.
Isn't that just one of the stupidest things?
Well, that's. I thought it would be like on the
6 hours
spot.
from now we have that, but they do that all the time.
That's
like
weird.
Even in the
do that.
American Revolution, like the Civil War, like World War I, there was like a timer, and people still fought up until the time,
Well, maybe
and a little
it's-
bit over it too.
Maybe it's just because like just in case people do shit, they have that leeway. So
Right.
it's like not dead
Why would
on.
they do shit?
Oh,
Just
we
get
didn't
information
know.
out. To get information out.
6 hours it takes to get information.
I'll tell you
out?
what, the Revolutionary War, different story. Because you got to
Right,
ride
it's
on
a
a
bit
horse to get
different.
somewhere and
It's a
tell
bit
somebody.
different.
But
This is a
yeah,
Paul
6 hours is a
Revere.
long time though.
Right. This
Says
day and age.
In approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final mission.
Oh.
So they have missions.
Pulling troops, getting weapons and infantry out, like stuff like that. Maybe that's what it is. Like getting the setups all taken out, like people camp somewhere.
But it's still
go 6 hours to do all that. That you might, yeah.
But the ceasefire should engage now.
That's probably what it is. It's just probably all the implications involving a ceasefire are going to be done within the 6 hour
I start
period.
shooting now. I go. Oh,
Interesting.
I was in the middle of a mission.
Yeah, wait, it's
Let
not
me
done yet.
Let me read the rest of it. It says, at which point the war will be considered ended.
Wait. Did you say
Officially-
war?
The war. Let me read this. It says officially Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful.
Okay. So
On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. It's kind of funny, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should now be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. Save all that. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. God bless the world. Blah, blah, blah. Interesting. So we got a ceasefire. Breaking news. Happened about 20 minutes ago. Let's rewind and quickly go through the events that transpired from Saturday night to now, because it was a lot. Saturday night was kind of interesting. I think that was maybe the first time in our lifetime where I actually thought, like, oh, wow, we were, like, going to go to war.
Yeah, same.
And it, like, felt like we were going to war. Like, I actually kind of felt like,
Oh, really?
oh, wow, like, this might get kind of shady.
Iran was like, if you do this, we're going to go to war, and then we did
what
it.
other time? I mean, what other time in our lifetime, in our cognitive life?
Yeah,
Right.
well, we were like, yeah.
Right? I mean, this was really the first time where I actually thought, like, oh, wow, like, if we retaliate, like, there really could be a world war. Or at the very least, us getting involved in a conflict where I'd be, like, worried about being in a big city, right? So that happened. You want to just pull up the first link?
Really? You felt that, though?
Yeah, when I watched the address,
You didn't?
No.
I only felt it because they literally said, if you bomb us, we're going to do something to you.
I felt it when I watched.
So I just assumed.
I kind of felt that way. The address he gave Saturday night didn't fill me with confidence, I would say.
I didn't. Well, it was 10 o'clock at fucking night.
Yeah, and it
I
was
saw someone
very
say
short.
10 o'clock at
When
night.
they
Was it a
film it.
Pac-12 game?
It was very, yeah. It was like I think he only spoke for like maybe 11 minutes it was.
Yeah.
And it was very weird. So yeah, this tweet says, so the U.S., a democracy, just attacked Iran without a vote or any input from Congress. Mike, I actually have a question.
Right.
Was that illegal?
So
Because I have no idea how.
here's a technicality. Since World War II,
Yeah.
we've never actually entered a war.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. Like Vietnam was like I think no, we were directly there.
No, I know, but I'm saying the other ones were like we getting.
Well, we were in Afghanistan.
Vietnam, we were in there.
and like the Gulf Wars and all those. Like
Right.
I think technically I don't think they were wars because Congress. It wasn't like initiated.
That we were in.
It wasn't initiated by Congress. The president always basically initiated, and then Congress later signed on.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's precedent for not having Congress initially sign on to it. So was it illegal? It's like a gray area. It's
Like,
it's a legal gray area because
Like, you're not supposed to do it.
Government. You're not supposed to do it. But also, we've been doing it for like 50 years.
Exactly. Like,
Or
they're not going to
80 years, I
impeach
guess.
him for
Jesus.
If we got into like a full-blown war, possible.
Like
Right.
AOC went on Twitter that night
Right.
and was like, "If you don't think this is ground for impeachment, like I can't. What else do you?"
Right. So another different thing is, so basically in all those kind of wars, like even the Vietnam, we weren't, like technically we were fighting insurgents.
Yeah.
Right. We were fighting people who weren't aligned directly with the government. That was a cough. In this regard, we literally bombed a government facility.
Yeah. That's why it looked bad.
So it's a bit different. Like even I think in Afghanistan we were trying to. I don't think it was the government, but it was like some I don't know, some group or something like that. It's always like some group we're fighting.
Right.
But this was directly Iranian nuclear facilities, which is kind of crazy. Which the intelligence I've gathered, we didn't destroy. So they're basically like, I don't know how nuclear shit's made, but the grand recap is they were at basically 60% completion. They had to get to 90 for it to be feasible.
Right.
And there was these big like centrifuges underground in a fucking mountain that they threw like bunker buster bombs at.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no confirmation that they were destroyed in any regard.
Right. So I think we'll probably get to that too because I was seeing tweets about that as well, where it's like, does anybody even know if anything was harmed?
Right.
Even
no.
the base, like those 3 bases we bombed in Iran, are like meters underground.
Right.
Like, I think it's 80 to 90.
Yeah, it's at
To
least
be honest,
90
I have
meters.
no idea how deep that is.
So
You know how deep
meters,
that is off the top of your head?
No.
meters
I
to
have no
feet,
idea.
meters to feet. So
It's 3 feet per
3.3
Right.
feet per
But, like,
meter.
yard.
Can you put all right?
The yard's 3 exactly. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
3.1. or
But
something.
could you visualize 270 odd feet?
It's like 1,000 feet
I
underground.
have no idea.
Just think about it, like 1,000 feet underground,
Right.
something like
How do you
that.
bomb it? You just bomb
That's
the
why they had a
top?
bunker buster.
Oh, they had a bunker buster.
Yeah, it goes
Oh.
and they like if you literally like they had like photos of the holes.
drill down or
they
something?
like go down and then explode.
That's crazy.
What
But it
I
wasn't like the
thought-
mountain didn't fucking blow up. So I don't know.
What I thought was actually interesting, I'm going to see if I can find the tweet. I probably can't keep talking.
Well, this was a funny ad lib. But basically, so to carry out that mission, right, this was actually kind of funny. So originally, Trump sent out that night, he sent out like a bunch of B-2 bombers, which are the sick, like all black ones, all black Doritos. He sent those out. He sent them going west or something like that, and then sent like another 7 going east. It was supposed to be like a
diversion or something?
A diversion of things, I guess, but I don't know. They wouldn't get taken out anyways.
Trying to break the cover too.
I guess so. And it was funny because someone at Kansas literally goes, "I just counted 7 B-2 bombers going east," and he goes, "That was the first intelligence of it."
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know. That was leading up to it. But anyways, going back to that tweet. It was a funny thing because it says basically to bomb Iran, the U.S. deployed 7 B-2 bombers. Each cost $2.1 billion to build.
That's crazy.
They used 14 huge bunker busters, a model that cost $500 million to develop. The U.S. invested $15 billion in this attack, and almost 50% more than invested in affordable housing construction this year.
That's crazy, man.
Isn't it? Sometimes it boggles my mind where it's like $2.1 billion.
Well, you see this every year. People talk about like taxes going up and stuff like that, and you look and like you're paying so much money for the fucking government shit. It's like, how are we benefiting from it? I mean, I guess if you get into a war, like, cool, we got the greatest shit possible on the earth to defend ourselves with.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like
they stretch the margins for sure.
Yeah.
It's a bit ridiculous. That's why I love that those stuff. It's like you actually want to go to the corruption and things like the Department of just boggled my mind. The military industrial complex in the government has never passed an audit ever.
Yeah.
Right. That's insane.
Like they can't do their budget at all.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the same thing. I don't know, because like government contracts are stupid. It's like if you buy like a fucking like light switch, it costs you like $500.
Yeah,
literally, not even exaggeration. Like toilets are like $5,000.
Yeah,
like at some point I do understand to an extent. Because it's like
$2.1 billion.
No, that's a lot. But at the same time, it's like they're probably like, yeah, but it should be the best of the best if we do it, and they probably should have this on it too.
So crazy though,
like just in case.
It's the same thing. It's like if you ever see like the people doing like I think it's the F-35 or like if they're building a new one, they've wasted so much money and they can't get it to like properly work.
Yeah,
and the test pilots will like crash it, and I'm like,
and then
like that's $15 billion just blew up.
Right.
Well, that's like the
like,
crazy
how is
part.
that even
Actually, but yeah.
And even like,
well, the value of the jet.
Right.
Even like, just generally like shit, like technology gets better.
Right.
So like at some point, a lot of the stuff that they're building is not going to become obsolete because it can still be
it's
used.
Just incrementally better, yeah.
But so it's like, oh god, we got to build a whole new thing now because they have this new chip you can put in this, and it's like
right. Same thing with the iPhone. It's like think about it like an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the old iterations of the fighter jets are fine. Like,
right.
I don't know. And it's funny, especially when you fight in the Middle East, because they're not as technologically advanced. Anything they do have is like American stuff that we gave them.
Yeah.
And so it's like they'll use a rocket launcher and blow up a fucking $5 billion plane.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like.
Right.
It's low. There's some ego to it too, because like I think we do have to uphold that we're the best military and we have the best stuff. So it's like, if we don't advance, someone else is going to catch up, and then we can't use that claim anymore. And that's like the most proud thing that like most American presidents say, like, oh, we have the best military. In the
realistically,
world.
If anyone ever
invaded, is this a quote tweet for that?
Yeah,
that's funny.
If anyone realistically ever invaded the U.S., you wouldn't be able to do anything. I don't know.
You get a couple licks off. Not gonna lie.
Right.
You hit some shit.
But it's the same thing like if we invaded Russia, except Russia's like 95% empty. So it'd be pretty easy.
We can just go and walk around. They wouldn't even know.
Right.
We go,
I don't know what the fuck that
Russian
was.
accent.
That was Russian. This was a thing just saying basically, so in all of this, right, there is people just living in Iran.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Just normal motherfucking people. And it's like the same thing with us. It's like, oh, yeah, we're doing stuff Saturday night and now we're at war.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh shit.
No implications.
People walking around doing shit, yeah.
Right.
I texted you guys last night. I was like, hope we wake up tomorrow.
Right. Now, obviously, massive implications for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anymore, I guess. They'll be fine.
Yeah, get your point.
But the same thing. It's like everyone, they live in like a radical, extremist, religious country. Yes. But it's not like they can really get up and move.
Right, they were born
into it.
Yeah. They were born into it. They're, I mean, for lack of better terms, they're in the middle of the fucking desert.
Right.
What are they going to do? Just drive?
Right.
I don't know. But I thought this was cool. So it's good keeping in mind that good people live there.
Yeah.
Just some of the houses, I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
They're
wow.
all brick houses.
And these are affordable housing.
Wow. I mean, I guess affordable to us.
Probably to us, yeah.
I don't know about them.
You know what's crazy, man? And I think we get away from this. When you think of these places in the Middle East, just from over the years of like stuff we've seen and heard on TV and the wars we've been into, you don't think of like that. They're like normal fucking places,
Right?
Like that.
I think they're
like
desolate
looking at
desert towns.
Yeah, looking at stuff
huts.
like that, I was like low-key taken aback for a second. I had to like click back in my head. I'm like, they're not just fucking like sand, and they're like a bunch of just fucking like miscreants out there, like how it's like portrayed.
Even the people that fight for those countries, it's like, would they if they weren't born into there?
Exactly, like you're defending your country.
I've seen clips and stuff of soldiers that like have killed high-ranking officials from like other countries, and it's like, damn, like if we had like sat down and like had a beer together, like would he be chill? Like would we?
Exactly.
Would we get along? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of not that I was going too deep in my own thoughts about it, like in terms of us getting drafted, but it's like, dog, would we actually like have to fight for this country? Like,
it's one of those things, and I always like understood the sentiment that like nobody's right in war, because like at the end of the day, like there's gonna be good guys and bad guys, but that is all perspective based. Like us to like when we were in the Afghanistan war and stuff, like we were fucking devils. Like we're like people are just trying to live their lives, they're just getting bombed crazy.
yeah, you could say
they
God
don't
bless
know.
America as much as you want, but you still fucking.
Exactly, you're bombing people.
I mean?
People are getting caught in the crossfire. People are dying. Like
Yeah, like I think we talked. Did the Tucker Carlson interview came up last episode? Correct.
Was it last episode?
Ted Cruz.
I don't think we went over
I don't
that.
know if we
No, we didn't go over that. I almost went over that today.
Like,
but
anyway, but like the one clip I'm referred to is like, you know, as much as you want to say like, oh, we have to defend Israel because like the Bible says so. It's like
that's
all right,
crazy.
Like,
does it say that?
listen,
You
I
said-
read it, bro.
Did you reread it?
Let me do a minute on it. So I read it. So the name Israel is actually given to some guy named Jacob, I think. And he basically says like, take your people like to
Jacob
this
Myerson.
land. So I think that's what they are like kind of referring to.
Right.
And then I was like doing Google searches, and it said that like, it says that like Israel is mentioned in like the New Testament. Yeah, see, look, I still have it pulled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Genesis 32:28, and I read it. Yeah, it says that name Israel first appears in the Hebrew Bible as the name given by God to the patriarch Jacob. I literally read all 50 pages, or it's like 51 pages of Genesis that night. Like right after I said it in the group chat, because I was like, I gotta fucking see what the hell this shit's talking about. And I don't know, like it's just, but it's kind of dumb because it's just like, I don't know. It's just about different interpretations. But the only reason I bring it up is to Josh's point. It's like, really nobody is right. It's just like you could tell yourself whatever you want to like make you feel good about it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's just sides in war. There's
crazy.
there's no right and wrong, really.
Well, and the thing about that I think they were trying to say in the interview is like, yeah, but the Israel now isn't the Israel then.
Judea.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Things change.
Like, I don't know.
That's why it's like the whole thing with Israel and Palestine. It's like, it's just religious beliefs on like whose land it is, like who's owed it.
Right.
And it's just rough when you have two like conflicting religions that like low key, if you really sit down and look at the like religious differences between these, they're not like we're not so different. Like people
really
understand
not.
that we're really not so different.
Yeah. What's what are the other links we have? What else did you want to get through? Because I wanted to get to, while you're here, I wanted to at least get to
Oh yeah, so
what happened today. So let's rattle these off.
I want to see what this is. I have literally no idea.
yeah, so basically, if you look on a map, right? So the Middle East, obviously, giant oil thing. Can you pull up Google Maps instead? This might be easier to look at.
Right here.
I know, but you have no idea where that is.
This will be 10
That's
minutes. I know where this is.
Because I know how that bit's about to go.
I know where this is.
Okay, so basically, you guys know how, like, for instance, like the Panama Canal?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. They were
Does all that
saying that
shit.
as retaliation, they would block this off. That's what you were going to say.
Right.
Right.
And they did. And that was the first tweet said basically,
Right.
like, undemocratically.
This is what they could do.
No, they voted to do it.
Right. But right. I know. Keep going. I'm sorry.
So undemocratically, Trump bombed Iran. Like, no one came together and voted on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But democratically, the Iranian parliament decided to close the Strait of Hormuz. I'll say it's
I
Hormuz.
was going to
Hormuz?
cut you off because like one of the first tweets I saw was this is what they could do, and then
Yeah,
like you said,
they did it like pretty quickly, and so basically the whole thing is like I think it's like 20 to 30% of all the world's oil
I
like
saw
moves through that.
30%
Hormuz.
online.
Yeah, it's basically because it connects like the UAE. I'm pretty sure Iraq, and basically Iran's oil.
Right.
This is here's how important the Strait of Hormuz really is. 20% of the world's oil moves through a strait in just 21 miles wide. A single blockade of Hormuz could spike oil to $150 overnight.
So right now the oil price is usually like around 70.
Yeah.
So basically double your.
That's
double the gas price.
Insane, dude. Hormuz sees more oil traffic daily than the Panama and Suez canals combined.
Wow, I didn't know that.
35% of all seaborne LNG passes through Hormuz. U.S. Navy has deployed forces to Hormuz nearly every decade since the 1980s. It's the most militarized oil route on Earth. It makes sense if they're doing that much business there. It's the only sea passage from the Persian Gulf to the open ocean. And Iran has threatened military closure of the Strait of Hormuz for over 10 times since 2000. And it did.
Is that the most used, or rather, does that have the highest percent of oil that travels through there? Out of
I imagine, I guess.
Yeah, if it's more than both the Panama and Suez.
That's a high number. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy how, like, geographically, like, that shit worked out for some countries where they have their, like, because they have, like, an upside to that. Like, they might not be the most, like, fruitful country, be able to, like, do much, but, like, if they want to control some shit, they could say, fuck it, lock it down.
Right. It's the same reason why, like, Somalian pirates are really big is because they're right on that passage, too. Same with, like,
that's why they got all that, like,
Yemen, I think.
Military out there.
Like Houthis.
Right.
What else was on here? So they did end up doing that. Now the market, that was the big thing. So we really knew if we were at war if the oil price spikes. Because even though he bombed him, like, it went up and then went right back down, like $1.
Yeah.
And so everyone's still saying, well, I guess we're not at war. I thought it was the funny part.
Yeah.
But I guess now we're not at war.
Do the memes, and then I want to read off a couple more tweets, too.
Oh. So I can kind of see, Josh, you don't have to open this one. This has nothing to do with anything.
Bonk.
That was just a random one. Oh, okay. This was good. So basically, remember, like, when, obviously Ukrainian war starts, we start giving a bunch of money, right?
And
everyone
the
Republican
Democratic Party
says
is getting slighted.
right. Every Republican says, "Oh my God, like, war is bad. I can't believe we get into the war. War."
Right.
Trump goes to war. Oh yeah, this is the good war.
Right.
We have to do this. No, we have to.
Right. And again, I don't remember the timeline. I think we actually did get to talk about this in the last episode, but Vance put out that.
Yeah, they can show that one.
Vance put out that tweet that was kind of interesting, kind of like preparing us.
Yes.
For
I
us
think
to strike Iran before it happened, right? And yeah, and I just thought it was super interesting that, like,
crazy profile picture.
Kristen, I certainly empathize with Americans who are exhausted after 25 years of foreign entanglements in the Middle East. I understand the concern, but the difference is that back then we had dumb presidents, and now we have a president who actually knows how to accomplish America's national security objectives. So this is not going to be some long, drawn-out thing. We've got in. We've done the job of setting their nuclear program back. We're going to now work to permanently dismantle that nuclear program over the coming years, and that is what the president has set out to do.
Well, I was also referring to the tweet he put out about, like, before we even struck Iran, he was going through he was kind of like putting it into context, like, guys, like, we've tried to get to them to come to the negotiation table. They haven't. And he was kind of saying, like, we don't want to have to do this, but, like, they're giving us no
force our
choice.
hand.
Yeah.
That's what they had said earlier in the week before.
I didn't fact check this. Let me tell you something.
Oh, brother.
Unfact checkable, right? Unfact checked, but I'm pretty sure. So literally, they weren't physically at the negotiation table, but they were negotiating with the guy who's, like, the head of the nuclear department for a thing, and then Israel killed him. They blew him up.
Well, that's the best way to win, is just to kill your ops, right?
So it was like, yeah, we were working on something, and then he got blown up.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's the funny thing too, is because, like, also we had, like, literally a Trump appointed, I think it was just the head of national security, but we'll just call it the head of national security, Tulsi Gabbard, who went there.
Oh, so this was funny too.
Got the information, was like, yeah, they're like months or years away.
Right. So,
and then we just went off with of Israeli stuff. We were saying, like, oh, they're coming. They're coming.
So they asked Trump.
Yeah, they asked Trump about that.
And he was like, she's stupid. Did you see that?
Yes. No, he was on
like,
his plane or something.
He was like,
that.
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Like, what? And every time
you try to find that?
They asked,
just look up Trump Tulsi Gabbard. It might come up.
They asked, like, Hesseg in a new interview is like, well, are we working off of, like, whose information are we working off of? And he goes, the collective information from, like, people.
Yeah.
A nuclear weapon. Your intelligence community had said they have no evidence that they
Said they have no evidence.
Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that?
Your director of national intelligence.
Your
Tulsi
director.
Gabbard.
She's wrong.
It's you.
Yeah. I was like, what the
That's
fuck?
so crazy. Which she could be wrong.
I was gonna say
Every person he puts on is fucking.
I don't think they- I don't-
She could be telling the truth.
I don't think
be
they
telling the truth.
I don't think they communicate well, like at all.
No.
I think people hear something and then he hears something and doesn't tell people that he heard
I
something.
feel like there's
and then
no
it's
direct conversation
yeah,
between
no.
these people.
Because it just happened like multiple
I feel like he doesn't hear directly that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I
But
fucking
then,
hate
lastly,
that way.
too, while Mike's still here, so Iran actually did retaliate today. Did you guys see that?
Right, yeah.
So they did retaliate today. It was like around like 1 p.m. Eastern. I remember because I was at the gym and
Right.
we saw tweets about it.
Oh no, they did.
And Trump, yeah, I think they bombed U.S. bases like in
Oh,
Qatar
I
and
did see
somewhere
that.
else,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
were
Iraq,
empty.
yeah.
And I think,
yeah.
Qatar and Iraq, and I think it was because they were probably empty because like we knew it was going to happen. They pulled them out, and we actually did know it was going to happen because Trump posted. He said Iran has officially responded to our obliteration of their nuclear facilities with a very weak response, which we expected, and have very effectively countered. There have been 14 missiles fired, 13 were knocked down, and one was, quote, set free because it was headed in a non-threatening direction. I am pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no
Right.
lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And then obviously a couple hours later, we get the ceasefire. But it's just so funny that they're like, yo, we're about to bomb you, though.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. So
Yo, just so you guys know, we're going to retaliate.
Iran directly told Qatari officials that they were going to bomb the base,
Yeah.
Right.
which is like
But then it's so stupid because then
makes
it's like,
no sense.
we're fucking-
I don't know. It's like a show of force, like type
everyone's,
thing, but it's
they're
like-
all talking behind their cameras being like, we're going to fucking end the world.
right. Oh, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Like the sleeper agents call. I was like,
And that's just the part
Yeah.
that's stupid to me because then it's like, listen,
so weird.
this is meant to be funny, okay? But it's like, could you at least bomb us? Like,
Yeah,
we're
dude,
bombing
yeah.
fucking useless shit. Like, I don't know. It's just stupid to me. War is so dumb, bro. But that's what I was saying. I said it in one of my group chats. I'm like, it's pretty funny. I think it's pretty funny that they're like, we're gonna end the world,
Yeah.
and then they'll be like, yo, by the way, we're about to bomb you. So like, move your people.
Well, like were they warning
we can
just
bomb you.
Qatar in general to be like, we're not coming at you.
It's
We're
a base
just
in Qatar. Like
That's
it's
what I'm
yeah,
totally
saying.
it's a
bomb.
U.S. base. State
so maybe they were
Qatar
telling
has to then tell
Qatar people
us.
like, yo, listen, we're bombing the bases. We don't have smoke with
That's
you.
just the shit
This-
that
they
makes
had
me
to do
laugh.
it.
It's like we're gonna drop a nuke and fucking blow.
You want Qatar
up.
to come
we're
at
gonna
you, too?
blow up
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
But listen, maybe
gotta
they
talk
but
like that in
maybe
war,
they,
I guess.
But maybe they were bluffing the whole time because, like Trump said in this post, like I guess they expected them
Is that?
to not to have a weak response. Like they probably knew. Like I'm sure the U.S. weighed up the possibility of them like actually sending shit to fucking America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before we went and bombed their 3 nuclear sites. So I guess it makes sense that they did that. But and then obviously we just got the ceasefire pretty much at the start of the episode. So it'll probably only last until they decide to not like each other again.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Who knows how long that'll be, but
Because like all it takes is them to be like, oh, we hear they're making nuclear weapons again, and then bang, boom.
so at least we're not gonna get drafted, Mike. This is good.
Now,
What-
now we're
what-
actually safe.
What job would you have wanted though, Mike? Like actually, I think you would have made a good nurse. You could have drawn blood. You actually would have been pretty
I
useful.
don't like drawing blood at all.
You know how to
I'm
draw
not trained
blood?
in that.
No,
I can. I don't know how to.
you actually
personally.
would have been sent.
They actually probably would have. You got to test the pee samples.
Yeah.
I gotta send you guys this so you can look at this.
Okay, send it.
The
I would have been a shit.
the Ayatollah himself has a Twitter,
Yeah.
Okay.
and it was like he tallied the funniest shit possible. Hold up, I gotta find the funny one. So
But I don't know. This like pump faking, ending civilization is getting kind of old to me. You know.
and you can also DM him. His DMs are open.
What are we doing?
I think that's just wild. I don't even. I guess you got to talk like that though. You got to put. You
I
got to start
guess.
fearing people.
I guess.
because their thing was like, don't step in. They're like, if you step in, we're gonna fuck some shit up.
Y'all.
So it's like,
course
I
they
They
guess
were like,
say
every
that, though.
American citizen is under threat. We were like, every American?
Yeah.
Citizen? Like, should I
tomorrow's New York. What
should
they
we
said
go to
that
the
shit.
city? You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like, I don't know.
What are you sending?
Oh, I'm gonna send you these tweets on Twitter. There's like a bunch of these. I'm trying to pull all of them right now.
Good.
Oh, this is the leader of it.
Yeah, this is like the president. He's like been there, or the Ayatollah, whatever. I think
Tweets
that's
out,
the
I'm not
title.
in the cinema and visual arts, but when it comes to poetry and novels, I'm just the typical audience. Hashtag books. Hashtag avid reader. Somebody goes, I came looking for. Oh, they said discovering Ayatollah tweeting like a white girl on Tumblr. He was asked why he only released women and African American hostages in 1979. He said, we released women and blacks because women are shown a special regard in Islam and the blacks have been subject to pressure and oppression in America. We do not consider them totally culpable for perhaps their oppression to coming here. We did this out of obedience to the command of Islam and God, and we didn't expect anything from Mr. Carter, Jay-Z, and we do not want any reward from what we have done.
Just you say Jay-Z?
Mr.
I was. If you just read the tweet that he tweeted though.
Oh, was a tweet over it?
Yeah. That first one, yeah.
Oh, Tim actually saying this.
Yeah, Tim actually saying that, but the tweet itself.
Oh, it says they celebrate a day for abolition of slavery, but such crimes are committed against the blacks. Hashtag Eric Garner. Hashtag Trayvon Martin. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. What the fuck? Are you
Dude, that
serious?
was in 2015. Like you have to look.
No,
what the dates
still,
are.
though, what
it's
the
like
fuck?
the funniest shit possible.
Wait, that's he's
Okay,
tapped in.
I do have to get moving.
He's
Yeah,
tapped
Mike's
in,
gotta
bro.
go.
Shout out him.
Non-Mike fans.
the most random shit possible. Like, wait a second, what?
I didn't know he was tapped in like that. I don't want to say shout out him. I don't have the lore on him, so let me not say shout out him. But
But that's all we have on wartime.
he's tapped in.
So
Are
thanks-
you coming back on camera?
Hopefully not.
You said what? No, because I want to switch the camera view if you're not. Like push it close to us so you won't be in it.
Yeah, let's do that. We're back.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You got to say now we left. Mike's going in these little tiny like running shorts.
Yeah,
It goes, you got underwear on? He goes, I'm running. So we know the answer there.
I think he thought I meant that his outer layer was underwear, and I think he meant. I think he meant I'm running as in like these are running shorts. Anyway, Mike's leaving. Mike's not here. Good, honestly. Now that he's gone,
Now he's out of here.
we can talk shit. No, yeah, Mike has practice for his cross country kids. So we wanted to get the war stuff out of the way, nice and early. Now the real podcast begins, Josh.
Now we're logging in.
We can talk about anything. We have stuff to talk about. Don't worry. Pull it up.
Let's do it. This was great. You see this?
I did not see this. No, what is this?
So there was a man who hopped in a truck and drove into a community church in Wayne, Michigan, and he got out and opened fire. Security guard ended up shooting him dead, but not going to show the video, obviously. We can watch it, but...
I want to watch it. Mute it. So people are in the church.
It's like a live stream on the church feed.
Oh, wow.
You see people reacting. Dude, that's super scary, bro. That's crazy. I mean, people
Wow.
just be doing just wild shit nowadays.
Bro is walking.
Like, that's a guy. It's a guard.
Oh. Wow, that's fucking crazy. What the hell?
It's wild. We have to, like, this doesn't happen anywhere else. Like, really.
You mean America?
Yeah. Like, in Europe, like, yeah, you might get a couple, like mass stabbings or something like that, but it's like, the gun shit's kind of crazy. And the people, like, ramming through people in crowds and stuff, that happens way too much here. Like, way too much.
But you know what the problem is? It's always because there's differences involved.
Exactly, yeah.
And I actually think a problem America has and will always have. What?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Mike's coming back.
I unmuted his mic. You're not on screen.
Come say it in this mic.
Oh, wait. If you lean, just unplug the mic or unclip it.
I want you to also know Iran has a very robust metro system. Keep that 2 cents in mind.
Glad he put
Keep that in 2 cents.
Okay.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Right.
Guys in the desert building trains.
Yo, Mike got, my headcanon, Mike got 5 minutes down the road and ran back to fucking come and talk about his trains.
Why did you not leave yet?
I gotta do the trains.
I was gonna say, I think something that America's always gonna struggle with is the fact that we are. What's the matter? We are this concept of like the land of the free, and we are a melting pot. And I'm gonna be honest, it's really hard to get everybody to get along when you have so many people from different backgrounds. And I think that's something people don't really understand. A lot of these European countries, I mean, they're born there, and that's kind of it.
It's true. It's not like a melting pot like here as much.
You know what I'm saying? And like in America, I don't know about your family, but like my family, for example, still I feel like follows a lot of the trends and beliefs that they would have followed had they still been in southern Italy and where we were from. And I think that's, you know, that has to do with heritage, that has to do with pride, and you don't want to lose that because that's like, you know, you cling on to it because it's like your sense of identity. Now, I would never go as far to kill people over my religion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? But I think that's why shit like that happens more often than not in other places, because we just have so many people that we just, I don't know, call it pride, but you just have so many people that think differently, have different beliefs. It's the same thing that's fueling all these wars, right? Like on a bigger scale, like the scale of the world, right? Like that's why you all these wars are religious wars.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I don't honestly, it was the first time I ever even thought about, not to bring up the war again, I hate to do that again, but like that Ted Cruz Tucker Carlson interview was crazy, because to hear Ted Cruz be like, yo, I came into politics 13 years ago to be like the lead defender of Israel because the Holy Catholic Bible says so. I'd never even considered that was like why U.S. that we were allies with Israel. Anyway.
Extremism in any...
Maybe I'm an idiot. Like I really don't follow this stuff that closely. I try not to, but I don't know.
Extremism in any way, shape, or form is like always bad. I don't think there's any positive extremism ever, because it only leads to just like crazy shit.
Right.
And I assume, I don't really know anything, but I didn't look it up about the guy. But
prayers out to them.
Yeah, prayers out to them. That sucks.
I just assume if you do that at a church, you just don't believe in their religion or God at all, and that's fine. You don't have to believe in that, but like to kill people over it's just crazy. I don't know what we're doing.
I never thought about it in that way. How like the pros and cons, because like that's one of the best things about America is that we're a melting pot and that there's so many different cultures and everything, and even like in different like cities, like you go to Texas and you can find 5, 6, 7 different cultures based in different cities there. Go to LA, find those same different cultures there too. Like they all mix together and all that, but
yeah,
there is negatives to that.
But it's kind of not normal like at all.
Yeah,
if you look at society, if you look at humanity, as long as humanity has existed, like it's this dude. That's literally where racism comes from. You look different.
Exactly.
You're different. You're a problem. Like, it's sad.
That's what it was from the beginning. Like you weren't really meant to mix.
Right.
Like you had your section. Like they came here, where the Native Americans are here, and they took over and shit like that. It's like they had their place, you had your place. Like
it's all stolen land.
Yeah.
Even I mean, I don't know if this is a road you want to go down, but even like systemic racism, like a lot of the fucking, not that we grew up around kids that were necessarily racist, but a lot of this shit was like, that's probably like how their families, it's always like, oh, my family fought in the war.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always some shit like that, and it's like, well, do you really believe that, or is it just because you thought you were supposed to believe that? You know what I'm trying to say? And there's no right way to think. Obviously, you shouldn't think somebody that doesn't look like you is a bad person.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Anyway.
And that's the pro of, like I said earlier, the pro of that. It's like you can learn through other experiences.
Right.
Like, you can, like, there are people that I know that, like, can empathize and sympathize, like, when, like the George Floyd and that shit was happening with, like, me and how I could possibly be feeling about that shit.
Right.
And not having the same skin color or having gone through it, just because you have, like, experiences with these people. And you're able to, like, be empathetic to that because you're seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's different from somebody that's grown up where, like, people probably in places where they've probably never seen a black person in their life, probably like, why does it matter? Like, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's different when you're like in America. You have the ability to like see and experience different things and different cultures and stuff.
Right.
Like I said, it goes both ways.
But it's even just like we were saying before. Like, there's probably people. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now. This might be un-American of me. I'm sorry. This will be on YouTube forever. But like, I'm not sure I'd want to fight for America.
If you really think about it, man.
I hate to be. Listen, don't shoot. No, don't.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Don't come at me, but like, I wouldn't say I fucking feel this like affiliation to die for America. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Fuck that.
It'd be a hard sell.
Over some shit that I don't believe in necessarily.
It's
Like,
hard sell to put your life on the line for something. If we had the support that like some other countries give, like somewhere like fucking Sweden or some shit, where they rock with their people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They help them the fuck out.
People would be more inclined to. I have a gut feeling that people would the average person like has more of a problem like with our own government than getting into like going to fight some other country's government. Like, at least I feel like people our age.
Yeah, because it'd be like, why would you expect us to go and risk our lives and fight for you when X, Y, and Z is happening? We don't have support there.
Right. And listen, we do have it pretty nice over here, though.
Oh, okay. That's one thing. Like,
let's be for real for a second.
It's the best probably anywhere. You can argue like somewhere in Europe or something, but like
maybe we have more like unnecessary stressors and shit that kids don't experience from other countries, right?
But there's nothing wrong with being critical about your country. I never thought that was like an issue. People are like, oh, like if you don't.
That's patriotic. It's patriotic in a way because you want things to get better.
Exactly, you want more, and we can do more. That's the thing. If we as America exhausted everything we could have done, and people are complaining, and it's like we literally can't do more. It's whatever. But like, there's more we can do.
Right.
And there's just a lot of people that are in charge and have been in charge throughout like our whole lives that just don't push the right things. And we think they should be pushing certain things.
Right.
And it's beautiful in America. We have the right to convey that. And we can freely say that. There's countries where you literally can't do that.
Right.
Like, yes, that's a plus, but it's like, yeah, like, let us fucking talk our shit. We have to talk our shit. It is what it is.
Right.
All we want is the best, you know?
Right. But yeah, you had that was a whole. But you had kind of asked like, oh, like why do we see this shit in this country? That's why we see this shit in this country all the time. There's so many different people. You have so many different beliefs. It's hard to keep that together. There's never going to be a president that unites the people.
I don't think so. I think it's too far going.
You know, obviously, Trump's a rigid figure, and he's pretty tough to get behind if you didn't like him already to begin with, right? Like he's not going to sway anybody. But yeah, I have a hard time believing that there'll ever be like full national support for someone like that. I doubt it.
Kind of sad, but like,
so many people. There's just too many people. It's a math game.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
people are too stuck in their beliefs, which is like not necessarily a terrible thing, sticking to your guns, but there's got to be room.
But you guys still be open-minded.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like what we were saying the other week too with the protests and stuff. Like it's kind of sad that like you have to fear getting harmed by somebody that doesn't believe in what you believe in or the police, right? Yeah. Now, like like we're not even gonna go into that because we did it all last week, but yeah, it's just wild. Anyway. What was the next thing? I didn't even know. I didn't know what this next one was about either. Do you want to do that?
Oh, okay, yeah. So, Mr. Beast.
He's done?
That's like, he's getting, like, semi-canceled. Like, honestly.
Why?
The first thing I have more issue with than the second thing. But, he put a video out, an ad. He deleted it since then. But put an ad out that the thing's called View Stats, and it's a AI, and it generates thumbnails. So, let me see if I can find it.
When are we going to use this?
Never.
Look it up, View Stats. Not I can just
My fault. Sorry, audio listeners.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
they probably.
They're fire right now.
No, it's fucking they wiped that shit. Holy fuck! All right, well, basically it's a service where you can automatically do thumbnails, right? So you can type in whatever, like a prompt, and it'll give you different thumbnails for the video. He's like, oh, you can take your favorite YouTube videos or whatever. Like, they say they have a good thumbnail, and you put it on yours and say, oh, make me a thumbnail.
So what was it, a copyright thing?
I don't know.
That's where I see. That's where I feel like it's going.
Because, like, AI art, you know?
Right.
And it's like, you have all the money in the world, brother. Like, you can just commission people to do that for you. AI art's kind of fucked because it does fuck with those people. So people are pissed about it.
Yeah.
Like, really angry about it. And I was watching it, and in my head, I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't see him being the type to, like, promote separate AI company just to, like, basically steal other people's thumbnails and, like, branding and stuff like that and be able to slap it onto yours. Like, it was a weird thing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like him at all.
And, yeah, he got canceled for that. And
Wow.
then he had a video that he put out where, in this video, one of his friends he knew.
Yep. So I saw this. Okay.
He weighed like 300-something pounds, and he gave him 100 days, locked him in the gym for a video, and he was able to earn challenges and earn money, but he had to lose 100 pounds. And he was stuck in there until he either quit or lost 100 pounds. And one of his trainers, and I think a friend of his, I'm not sure if they were friendly before this or not, but he ends up dying and was put on, and I'll play a clip from it.
He died? From what?
Your turn, coach.
He dies in this video?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to get out of here.
Hey, what up, man?
Yo, it's your boy, Coach. Who this?
And because their bond was so powerful, what came next was the worst thing that's ever happened in one of my videos. And because I was still out of the country...
For the people that aren't watching it, there was a disclaimer now that pops on the screen for them talking about, like, oh, that deals with...
My head of production had to break the news.
Yo. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, right?
Yeah. How you doing?
Are you telling me I'm fired?
No.
This is bad.
No, I wish that's what I was telling you, I'll be honest. But I do have really unfortunate news.
So this is the director.
Coach Ball was found dead in his apartment yesterday.
He said his Coach Ball was found dead in his apartment. He's getting revealed.
No. No, man. No. No, don't lie to me, bro.
It's not so bad,
Wow.
See, I don't want to play the whole thing.
So he probably has a bad reaction to. So they're saying, like, why would you include this in a YouTube video?
I mean, this tweet specifically says Mr. Beast adding sad piano music to the guy's reaction to hearing his friend was found dead in his apartment is fucking disgusting. Recording it at all is insane in itself, but going the extra length, post it, it's inhumane. And they're saying this is almost as bad as the Logan Paul suicide force interview or force video, if anyone's ever seen
Right.
it.
Wow, that's terrible.
Listen.
Well, yeah. Well, all right. Well,
there's a thin line with this stuff,
yeah. Give your thoughts first. I have a thought too.
and I understand why people would be upset at this, like 100%. But I'll say for these types of videos specifically, where it's like I'm going to capture or put myself out there for my whole life to be captured for the 100 days or whatever, I'm in here losing my weight, everything will be documented, this, that, whatever.
Right.
Like, yes, I do think, like, yeah, maybe you could have cut out the fucking sad piano music or whatever, but I think in that context, and the fact that they're, like, actual friends in real life, though, too, I think that's fine. I'm sure they had a conversation about it before the video went out, saying,
right,
is that okay if this is in the video? I would be... My mom would be blown if you went out there and just put it in there without getting the proper consent first. And I think...
Right.
And I watched the video after seeing this to make sure, like, maybe I'm missing something. As the video goes on, like, they get, like, a plaque memorializing him and put it above the door or whatever, and he's like, oh, I'm going to do this for my coach and stuff like that. I think it's, like, a motivational thing. So I think it, like...
I guess you needed to include something about it to contextualize the end of the video.
Yeah, and I think the guy there probably wanted to be in there because it's like, oh, like, I'm doing this for my coach and, like, kind of dedicate the video to him. So I think looking at it from an outside perspective, it looks kind of bad. But
it does look kind of bad. But I also struggle to believe that this was put in there in bad faith.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I doubt they were like, yo, let's get your reaction in the video.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, they even say he wasn't even in, he was recording or filming something, like, he wasn't even there. at that point in time. And he comes.
No, that's sad.
I remember in the video he was like, "Go next flight." I got out there, and they went and sat down and talked to him, and he was like, in that part of the video, he was like, "I'm not putting this conversation in the video. It's a personal conversation." So,
right.
Like I think he took the steps. I think like a knee-jerk reaction to that, it's like, what the fuck? Like, you can't be putting that on there. But I do think context is important for that.
I'm trying to read. Oh, the cause of death hasn't been publicly disclosed.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Because that guy was a fit dude, man. I just said he was found dead in his apartment. That's super sad.
Man.
But yeah, they asked me, like, oh, like, if you want to quit now, like, by all means, bro. Like,
damn, that sucks. Wow, so I didn't even see this. I thought, when you brought up Mr. Beast, I thought we were just going to talk about, like, the results of this guy losing all the weight.
yeah.
Because that also did happen recently. Like, the video came out recently, right?
Yeah, I think it just came out a couple days ago.
Yeah. It is, I mean, listen, it is crazy that he did that in 100 days. But I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea that happened during it. I just saw tweets about, like, him losing the weight and stuff.
Let me see.
Mr. Beast recently featured a weight loss challenge in a video where he offered a friend $250,000 to lose 100 pounds. Videos documented Mad's journey of living in a gym and working towards his weight loss goal. The video is described as emotional, inspiring, showcasing a significant physical transformation. In addition to the challenge, Mr. Beast himself has also shared his own weight loss journey, having lost over 40 pounds through a combination of daily walking, strength training, calorie deficit.
Let me see. I want to see. I don't want a reaction. I just want to look at the video itself. Mr. Beats. I mean, wow.
Oh, it
it
was more than 100 days or what?
I think he just had to lose 100 pounds.
Yeah, but he just stayed in there.
Yeah, he stayed as long as he needed to.
Yeah, no, the transformation is crazy.
Look at this.
This is his final weigh-in. We had a message from Madge to himself.
This is actually a video from day one. Play it.
Madge, you're looking lean, you're looking healthy, you're looking bald, beautiful as ever, but most importantly, you don't want to go back to what you're looking at now. This is something that you never want to feel again.
I don't know how much we can play this.
Yeah.
He's got lawyers of death. But
yeah, I saw that video of him, like, with his lineup and shit. What did he start at?
This is Madge's new home. This is $250,000.
Oh, he had to get to He had to get to under 224. Wow, that is crazy. Holy shit, that's nuts.
I mean, good for him. I mean, I was watching the video. It actually, like, I was just watching the video. It was a super cool video. Like, he was.
I bet.
They were like, oh, remember the first day you ran 4 miles in like 17 minutes or whatever. You got down like 8.5. Like, it was cool. It was inspiring, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the best part of it too. And we go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, you actually. Maybe people do it more than myself, but I actually, like, rarely ever look back at what I, like, used to look like, and I don't, like, actively think about, like, what I could and couldn't do. But there are times where you have certain conversations where you, like, oh shit, like, I can do this now, and, like, yeah. It is a cool feeling. That's cool that's actually cool that he had a video talking to himself.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I wonder what that would have felt like. Sometimes I wish I would have had pictures of myself when I was, like, this thick.
Sometimes I wish I was fat.
No. No, bro. Not that I'm, like, I said to my friend I said to G-Man last week that, like, I still feel like a little skinny kid.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't want pictures of myself when I looked like that, when I was, 19, 20 years old, I wish I could look back at it, but.
I mean, yeah, there's always, like, we have friends, like, I can say his name. Mike's been on the podcast before. Mike was, like, kind of chubby back in, like, high school, back in being in college.
Right.
I look at those pictures now, I'm like, what the fuck?
Kind of handsome now.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? What happened? You got chiseled.
Bro's kind of handsome.
He was doing his, the jaw thing.
Croft used to have abs. Now he's fat.
Yeah, he reverted.
Now he's gonna run every day. Wow, but that's crazy. I didn't know he was gonna he could get canceled. That's sad. I think. Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as the fucking Logan Paul thing.
No, that was fucked. Like you're filming dead body, brother.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
He died.
I'm not gonna say it. I thought he like drowned in that tank or some shit. Like I thought he like caught his death on camera and put it in the video. I was like, what the fuck?
That would be crazy. There's you could not be safe from that shit.
No, that's terrible. Wow. Okay, we'll see if he gets canceled. I doubt it.
Like, I mean, some people are just like too big to get canceled. I don't think cancellation really works in general.
Right. Let's we can move. We'll move along.
Yep.
All right, let's move along. So we're gonna do a little sports bit. We probably could have did a whistle episode, but I don't think it's enough to talk about. We're not gonna do a whole bit. Sorry for the people who don't follow sports, but it was a big night in American sports. History last night. Best 2 words in sports. Game 7.
Sir.
Some people would say those are the best 2 words. Game 7, NBA Finals, live from Oklahoma City, where we saw the Oklahoma City Thunder crowned as NBA champions for the first time in their organization's history. It was a series that ended up being better than a lot of people thought, right? Going 7 games. A lot of people, if you didn't follow, going into the series, thought that the Thunder were going to beat the Indiana Pacers, who were their opponent, in like no more than 5 games, which is kind of disrespectful. It was they had like some of the best odds ever in NBA history to win the finals, and ultimately they did, but it absolutely didn't go the way that most people thought. It ended up being a really good series. I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch as much of it as I should have, but I did watch games 5, 6, and 7 once I was like, oh, wait, like, there might be a series here.
So every game I just kept thinking, like, oh, they'll probably just win anyway. And then they just kept not winning. And I was like, what the fuck?
And the Pacers stealing game 1 feels like a fucking month ago.
Oh, my God.
Like, and it's crazy that we got to this point. But we'll talk about it because there were some big storylines. It's a series that, rather, it was a game 7 that was kind of blemished.
Yeah, of course.
In a way, for those who didn't watch. I'm honestly labeling it as one of the most shocking sports injuries I've ever watched live, in terms of level of the player, the stage in which it happened. For those who don't know, Tyrese Halliburton probably strained his calf in Game 4, I think was what they were saying. Chose to stick it out, chose to play through injury in Games 5, 6, and 7. Usually calf strains are injuries that like you probably sit out 2-3 weeks. Like if it was the regular season, he probably wouldn't have been playing. But if there's any games to risk further injury, it's the NBA Finals. These 3 games quite literally could be the biggest games he ever plays in his career, especially on a team like Indiana, no disrespect. But about, I think it was 7 minutes in. 7 minutes in to the game. He was the best player on the floor. I think he had 9 points. He was 3 of 5 from 3. He looked like he was going to live up to the biggest moment in his career and maybe do the unthinkable and knock off the Thunder and win the series in 7 games. But he blew out his Achilles. And it was one of those sports injuries that was just disgusting and sad, and he knew it right away. He was pounding the floor, saying, you kind of look back. There's a angle where he's looking at his trainer, and I think the trainer says, the trainer must have said, did you pull it? Because I think he says, I did. And it was disgusting. Obviously, we watched the game together, and we all got to kind of react to it together. And I was trying to say to my friend, I'm giving a little monologue, I'm sorry. I was saying to G-Man today at the gym, there's only one other sports injury I can think of on that stage, and I'm not trying to compare Tyrese Halliburton to Cristiano Ronaldo because obviously they're not even like close to being on the same scale in their respective sports. But when Portugal made it to the final of the Euros in 2016, played France, heavy underdogs, Ronaldo by far and away the star player, obviously everyone knows who Ronaldo is, gets hurt like 25 minutes in. And that's one of the few sports injuries where that one, like, time actually kind of stood still because he was at the time the best player in the world. Similar story, Portugal, massive underdog. Portugal never won a trophy for their country ever. The only difference is Portugal went on to win the game. But immediately when Tyrese Halliburton, Like Bill Simmons said it today on last night on his podcast. I actually don't really remember the first half either, because anytime something like that happens, I have a hard time focusing on the game.
It takes the air out of it, yeah.
And that was something I kind of said to you guys last night. It's like I'm really interested to see. All right, are the Pacers gonna rally right now and do this for their teammate, or is the moment gonna be so big on the road you see your brother fucking go down and writhe in pain? And a lot of the times I feel like psychologically you just automatically assume it's not going to be your day, and they gave it a good fight. They were up at halftime,
they
right? Up 1 at the half, but then ultimately OKC just kind of ran away with it. We'll never get to know.
It was just crazy.
And I actually think it's going to be one of the bigger what ifs of our sports watching generation. I mean, a fairy tale run from Indiana. We had every reason to assume that they could win that game.
It was looking
based on the run they had and all the comebacks they had, and they started the game exactly how they would have wanted. They were up in the first quarter, up at halftime without Halliburton. Just sad. What'd you think about it?
I'll say if Halliburton stayed in, I think they honestly probably win that game.
Dude, it was looking like it.
The Thunder they were not looking.
We had a small sample size. OKC didn't make threes all game.
Yep.
They were getting threes from Dort and Caruso, and not about anybody else.
The Pacers come into the game, they play well. OKC's not really doing too much. I forgot what I was going to say.
SGA league MVP, 29% from the field on the night, 8 of 27 from the floor. I think he was 11 of 12 from the line. I mean, it really did have the makings of a game that the Pacers could snatch.
Halliburton goes out. The amount of turnovers just fucking
immediately, right? Yeah, because you're immediately shit, that girl's a whole. I assume most of their game plan, right?
Yeah.
Most teams don't plan to not have their best player on the floor. 100%. We won't get into we're not gonna go super into the basketball on display, but we'll do more storylines. But really, the main storyline was Tyrese Halliburton. It was just sad.
You want me to put this in here?
Yeah. All series, there's been... Okay, so for those who don't know, OKC is going to go down on paper historically as having one of the best defenses ever.
Yes.
They do kind of get helped by the refs, and I think you see that a lot in sports if you want to make it a bigger sports conversation. Some guys get a little leeway. Some teams get a little leeway. They have a little bit of reputation. Oh, that's just them. That's what they do. That's how they play. I think it was Game 5 was the game that was just absolutely fucking disgusting, appalling, almost borderline. It was borderline unwatchable with Scott Foster on the call and some of the calls that were made. Maybe it was Game 3 or 4. I think it was a game in Indiana. But anyway, there were some tacky calls in this game as well. It was kind of a theme for OKC's postseason. But there's a clip that's been flying around of Case and Wallace just gripping McConnell's forearm. This is not allowed. That's not allowed. Look at him. He's holding. He's.
Ref is right there. McConnell's like, bro.
And it results in a steal. It's just weird. But sometimes you see that stuff in sports.
The refs were huge.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
We can't say that the refs swung the series, but enough happened over the course of the series for it to be talked about.
Yeah. An argument can't.
Yeah, but shout out OKC. First finals victory for them in their history. A lot of people think they're going to repeat. They're certainly set up to do so. Super young team. That's the thing that's kind of wild too. Is they're a team that it doesn't really feel like they're in their prime or at their peaks, right? Like Boston winning it last year, kind of an older team.
Yeah.
We had Tatum pretty much in his prime, Jaylen Brown pretty much in his prime. I mean, this OKC team is young and tough, ready to go. I think they're the second youngest team ever to win the NBA Finals. Yeah.
Action team. I mean, good for them. I think it was, not to be a hater, the run they went on, they did have somebody injured in every single
do this, yeah, do this.
So it's one of those things yes, you got to give them their props because regardless, right? Yes, they did have a bit of an easier path due to injuries and things like that, but at the same time, statistically, they were the best team almost in history.
Right.
They're locked in. They're one of the best teams ever.
Yep.
So it's you give and take with that stuff, but
it is crazy. I mean, they won 82 games total. Maybe it was 84. I think it was 84. because you're gonna win 16 and they won 68 in the regular season. But even talk about Indiana. I mean, because Bill Simmons said it too, and I'm not just trying to like take from their thoughts, but it's one of those finals in sports history in general where like you kind of will remember the team that lost first. Yeah. Right? Like, it's going to be really hard. It was the best postseason fairy tale run I've ever seen. It went as long as it could have went.
I thought they had no
Game 7 had an absolute tragic ending. Yeah. I mean, the Pacers, going into the NBA season, it would have been the longest odds ever for a team winning if they had one. To put it into perspective, obviously the Eastern Conference is banged up. Yes, Damian Lillard blew out his Achilles against them. Yes, Jason Tatum blew out his Achilles, which we'll never know if Boston would have beat the Knicks. I almost think if Boston did play the Pacers, they would have lost anyway. I mean, but there's an argument to be had that like the Pacers, it was now or never for them to get there. Now with the injuries that are I can't even say that because obviously Halliburton's hurt too. Like the East is kind of wide open. It's gonna be interesting, but
Achilles injury in the finals, like you're done for the year.
You're done for the whole year. I mean, we have to assume he's gonna be done. Like Tatum did his Achilles now in like April.
Yeah.
Right.
Good time.
It was like the middle of May, maybe.
Let me check. Actually, wait. Yeah. What the fuck?
I actually think it was like the beginning of May at this point. It was game 4? We were down 3-1. We lost in Madison. May 12th, right? I mean, what the fuck? That's crazy. I mean, 6 weeks ago already. So, yeah, the timing of it is just tragic. Tyrese said he's only 25 years old. Yes. Halliburton. It's crazy. Should we do an injury bit? Should we talk about? It's just kind of crazy, all these Achilles injuries. It's not something you see a lot. I was saying to G-Man today at the gym, actually, too. It gets taken out of context a little bit because all these injuries, if you look at it, they're off the back of like a mistake.
Something,
Like Tatum's injury is a loose ball. He puts his ankle out in like a compromised position where it's loaded, right? And Halliburton, it was kind of the same thing, right? Like he went to step back, and I mean, there's probably an argument to be made about like wear and tear in sports, like. Maybe there's more wear and tear now for kids than there ever was because we're putting kids and athletes in general through these crazy schedules and expecting them to play all these games and play all these minutes. And I know, like, Tatum, for example, led the league since he's been in the league for minutes played, I'm pretty sure. And I think games played, too. So it kind of makes sense. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Prayers out to Tyrese Halliburton. Hopefully he recovers because that team was fucking fun to watch, dude.
They actually were. And, like, the issue with his...
Like, they gained so much respect. People are going to be Halliburton fans forever. That first game that he comes back is going to be electric.
It's rough for him and the team and the pace that they play with. Like, an ace...
right, yeah, that's an argument, too, right?
Rough. That's so rough with their play style to come back from. Like,
and they play so downhill and fast.
6 months and you're probably good to go.
Yeah.
And Achilles, that's... And usually players do not come back good from those, especially basketball. It's like a
right.
It's like you're basically cooked.
Low hit rate, but also we haven't really seen two guys who were that young, that talented,
exactly true,
and that much of like physical. I mean Tatum more so than Halliburton, but that much of like physical specimens, right? Like everybody says, oh well, like look at Durant, right? And I just think that's just a one-off. Like I mean. It's just, it makes you feel a little better because Durant's old comparatively, right? Like, he was pretty much 10 years older than these guys when his Achilles happened, right?
Not enough, like, data yet. I guess the benchmark we're going to be seeing with Tatum hopefully coming back and whenever he comes back, and then Tyrese, and then we can now be like, oh, maybe it's different. Because it was the same thing with ACLs where it's like, oh, you're probably cooked. Your career's probably over. And now, like, fucking we have Stephon Diggs who's running like a madman again. 6 months later, it's like, That's insane.
It is crazy. But yeah, that's our bit on the finals. Congrats to the Oklahoma City Thunder. First ring. It looks like it's going to be the first ring of a couple. They're probably going to dominate the West the next 5 years. It's definitely possible. Should we talk about the Kevin Durant trade?
Oh, yeah, we can, yeah.
We could talk about the Durant trade. We'll do a little bit on it. So Kevin Durant's also been traded to the Houston Rockets in a decent package. I think it was for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, some firsts.
10th pick in 5 seconds.
Yeah, the 10th pick. Yeah, the 10th pick this year in 5 seconds. It was a trade saga that went on for pretty much the whole season. Everybody knew he was going to get traded. It was only a matter of when and to where, and there was just so many different packages that were flying around on Twitter and rumors, and then there was the part where Durant came out and said he only wanted to go to a team where there was no income tax, which is like pretty much only Texas or Florida with actual good NBA teams. He obviously went to school in Texas, so all signs kind of pointed to him landing on Houston or San Antonio. But the package was like kind of meh. They were never going to get more than that. He's 38, 37. I just don't understand how, if you're a young team, I just don't understand why you'd want to acquire him and give away a bunch of your assets. It's a slam dunk trade for the Rockets. You get Durant, and sure, he's in the twilight of his career, but he's never averaged less than 27. And they get to keep all their young players that they actually liked. They actually get to keep all the young players that like show promise, right? Like Jalen Green kind of shit his pants in the postseason. Kind of shit his pants in the postseason, and they have a great young team. We're not going to get into it, but we'll see what happens with the Suns. I mean, everybody was immediately saying that they're going to now reroute Jalen Green somewhere else, but it doesn't look like he has a huge market of teams that want him. The Suns have to pay 90% of their cap to Beal, Booker, and Jalen Green. That's not an ideal way to spend your money. But we'll see. Beal with a no trade clause. They're locked into Bradley Beal.
I think you force Beal into a trade request.
Right.
I think you just get rid of anybody that is even good on the team. Just start over and be like, Beal, if you want to stay here, sure, whatever. But everyone else is leaving. We got to start over.
But yeah,
they're not doing shit.
Crazy trade remains to be seen. Suns still need a center. They have no bigs.
Yeah, it might be.
I mean, it might be bad for a while.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Booker. But anyway, that's our NBA bit. Shout out OKC winning the title.
Yeah, good shit to them. I didn't want them to.
Oh, we have another one.
Yep.
Is this one good?
Look good. I just read the title.
What does BIL stand for?
Brother-in-law.
Oh, fuck.
So.
Am I the asshole?
Another Am I the Asshole segment.
All right, let's run it.
Lock in. All right.
You want to read it?
Yeah, I can read it.
Okay.
It says, am I the asshole for telling my brother-in-law that someone is going to punch his girlfriend one day?
Based.
My older sister.
So it says that about his sister.
Yeah.
I would say this.
My older sister recently got married to her longtime fiance. They're polyamorous, and both have separate
Oh, God.
I've met my sister's boyfriend a few times at holidays.
Oh.
Nice. My brother-in-law's girlfriend, we'll call her Sally. I've met once before at their engagement party, and she seemed nice, but she also...
Oh, that's messy.
I know. She also seemed like the type of person who wanted the center of attention. She talked over everyone, insisted on helping my sister open any gifts they received, and she even told people that she's...
she's getting married, too.
My sister and brother-in-law were getting married because she's officiating the wedding. It all rubbed me the wrong way, but...
What the fuck, dude?
Who was I to say anything? Things did get a little weird towards the end of the party. Which one am I going up?
Okay.
Towards the end of the party, however, because Sally got pretty drunk and started very loudly proclaiming how monogamy was ruining relationships and was disgusting. The only reason that people aren't open with their love is because they are scared, insecure, jealous, and controlling. This made most of the people left at the party feel visually uncomfortable.
Right.
And most left soon after because she wouldn't stop, even after my brother-in-law took her aside and told her to calm down. I was helping my sister clean up from the party when Sally started questioning me about my stance. My boyfriend had to work, so he wasn't at the party. My sister tried to squash the discussion, but Sally ignored her and asked again. I very calmly explained that I tried polyamory once and quickly realized that it wasn't for me, that I was now in a very happy monogamous relationship, but totally support non-monogamous relationships. Sally started to say something, but my sister very firmly told her that she was drunk and to go lay down. She rolled her eyes but did stomp out back to the bedroom. My sister then explained how Sally was usually very nice but did make being poly her whole personality, which has caused problems before.
Right.
A few weeks later to the wedding, fast forward to a few weeks later to the wedding itself, everything went great. It was beautiful and everyone seemed happy. During the reception, my boyfriend and I were talking to my mom and Sally approached us to say hi. She's met my mom quite a few times and my mom is the type to love everyone. My mom reintroduced me and also introduced my boyfriend. Nothing seemed off. We all said our pleasantries, and that was it. Right. A little later, my boyfriend went to get some drinks for us. While I danced with my sister, I was taking longer than I expected. It was taking longer than I expected, so I went to go looking for him. At my surprise, he was being cornered by Sally near the drink table. His back was literally to the wall, and every time he took a step away from her, she would step closer. She was rubbing his arm in a flirty way, brother. I couldn't hear what she was saying to him, but the relief on his face when he saw me told me everything I needed to know. The only thing I did hear was her whining, "Oh, come on." I walked up, grabbed my drink from his hand, which finally made her take a few steps back. I asked what they were talking about, and she very bluntly and flirtatiously replied, "I was just telling him how much I love gingers. My boyfriend is a ginger." I simply told her as calmly as I could to stop being a fucking cunt. And there were plenty of single people at the wedding she could hit on. She said something back, but I was already pulling my boyfriend away and didn't hear.
Oh, wow. What the hell?
The rest of the night was uneventful and other than the normal wedding fun. A few days later, my brother-in-law texted me to say I needed to apologize to Sally because flirting with people is part of her personality, and she didn't do anything wrong. I told him that one day she's going to come across someone less nice than me, and she's going to get her shit rocked. My brother-in-law thinks I'm being petty and an asshole. My sister and mom think I was justified, and that Sally was being disrespectful.
So Sally is the girlfriend. Is her older sister's girlfriend?
Her brother-in-law's girlfriend. So
Right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, but the sister. Okay, I'm sorry. So the older sister's also they have a polyamorous relationship.
Yes.
They got married, but they have a polyamorous relationship, and the brother-in-law has a girlfriend, and that's Sally.
Who's also polyamorous, yeah.
Right.
Now.
Wow.
Where's
the older sister's boyfriend?
That's what I'm saying.
I've met my sister's boyfriend a few times. That's all that's mentioned about him. And he was really nice. My brother-in-law's girlfriend, we'll call her Sally, right? Okay. All right. She's in the right.
I think so too. Listen. There's a way to handle it. Calling somebody a cunt, maybe not the right way to go about it. You know
Sure.
But that's your boyfriend, and someone's trying to hit on your boyfriend, and she knows that you're dating, like.
I think most girls that are in a monogamous relationship would react that way.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's what you believe.
Yeah. You're like that.
Rather, like you don't. But it's probably more of like a not understanding the polyamorous.
Yeah, because it did say in here, like, she says she respects it, and she tried it,
and it's not for her.
It didn't work for her. Like, we don't know if there's, like...
She's also probably reacting like that because she knows that this is Sally's personality, and to Sally, it would be okay.
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah.
For the boyfriend to maybe entertain something because her belief is that this is okay and more people should do it, right?
Yeah.
Keep going.
I mean,
what else?
There is a realm of possibility where
this was also way longer than it needed to be.
100%.
Anyway,
but there's a realm of possibility where she was like not actually coming on to him and was just like
being flirty, right? Yeah.
And
right.
they did say she had an issue at their party that they had before the wedding where she was just drunk, and maybe she just gets drunk and like can't control it, which obviously
happens. There's a decent amount of people, yeah.
Yeah, maybe she just is a flirty person, and then it comes out a bit more when she's drunk. But like, there's an instance where it was like, for the majority, like innocent, and it looked like way worse than it was. So I will hold some space for that side of it specifically. However, yeah, I mean, at some point you gotta take the hint and cut that shit off and be like, listen, maybe I don't. But like, there's a point in here where it's like, low key, are they really voicing this to her at this point? Because I think if they're saying
voicing what, voicing that they don't agree with how she acts about it.
Like maybe not how she acts about it, but like just like to her, like yo, like calm down, like
right.
You're doing too much.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think it gets to this point for a normal, reasonable person if you're told like, yeah, we don't like when you do this. So I don't know where the communication was before that.
Well, it's hard. It's hard whenever. It's hard to respectfully say that to someone when they make that their personality, because you also don't want to like
offend them.
Right? You're not going to shit on somebody else's form of love or sexuality, right?
Yeah.
and that's what's tough. But I think, like, I don't know. It's hard to even say this because in society it makes it. Maybe I shouldn't say this at all, but like nobody's pushing monogamy on her. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like I could see if somebody is like, oh, and maybe she does feel like society always questions her views, and I completely understand that. That's definitely a reality for a lot of people when it comes to sexuality and their views on relationship. So it's tough because sometimes you like feel like you need to promote it to like help yourself, right? But can you scroll down?
Yeah.
Like to the I wanted to read like the last brother-in-law's girlfriend hit on my boyfriend.
It's a short.
Yeah. BIL thinks I should apologize. Listen, like it's hard because like obviously like that is her personality and I get it. I think she's in the right because she was hitting on her boyfriend.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now like like was she hitting on him or not? We don't know. We'll never know. Like if we were gonna take this person's words to be true and like she was hitting on her, then like yeah, I could. She's in the right for being annoyed about it and wanting to say something. I don't think that's wrong at all. I think if anything, well, I was gonna say maybe Sally's in the wrong, but it's hard because it's like her beliefs is that that's kind of okay to do that. It kind of doesn't, that shouldn't be a barrier. Like, and listen, I kind of like, there's ways to interact without it being serious.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, she kind of raises a good point. Like, if you scroll up, like when she, like her point she makes about, like, more people should do it. Scroll up more. It's more like, blah 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 blah. Yeah, like her, like she kind of raises a good point where she says like the only people that aren't open to love like that, like I could see your argument is like, oh, you're just scared and insecure or jealous and controlling. And while that may be true for some people that believe in monogamy, I feel like they value not that they value the opposite of those things, but they value the security that they have within their own relationship with somebody else and would not want to jeopardize that by interacting with somebody else, right? Like, because we're human. Like, listen, dog, we're human. Listen, dog, we're human. I'll speak for the guys, right? Like, okay, are we secure men? I like to think so. Have I been in relationships before? Yes. Have I been in relationships where girls have said like, oh, like, just so you know, like, this person hit me up or like this person DM me? Like, yeah, like, I think if you're a girl that respects your partner, you probably will talk about those things. There's an argument to be made where it's like, I as a man shouldn't have to worry about who's hitting on my girl because I know my girl loves me, and if I really trust you, I shouldn't have to ask you about that. And I do kind of, that's usually the line that I take. Like, I almost don't even need to know about it as long as you're showing up every day to us, right? So it's hard. Like, it doesn't seem like doesn't seem like someone like Sally will ever convince someone like this person writing this post that it was okay for her to hit on her boyfriend, right? Like, so I don't know. This is an interesting one. They're kind of both in. That's so boring. We always say they're both in the wrong.
I know.
I think
it's hard.
I think the person writing this didn't do anything wrong. I don't think Sally's in the wrong. I think they're both not in the wrong. How's that?
I think that yes.
Now they're like,
because like
you're not and like
you don't know the actual context of the conversation
right
here. So
yeah, can you scroll up again? I'm very interested in like the first couple paragraphs.
Yeah.
She talked over everyone.
They both have separate partners each, so it's not like they're like just polyamorous in general, but they both have four, 2 and 2. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I wish I was at the party. The party's more interesting to me than the wedding.
The wedding, yeah, I agree.
Like I want to see what it was like.
I feel like that's just a boil over from the party.
Yeah, like I want to see what it was like when she was drunk and was like proclaiming how monogamy is ruining relationships.
Yeah.
Because, like, maybe it's an our generation thing. This depends how long of a leash you'll give me, Josh.
Oh, brother.
I think this generation, you see monogamy a little less, and I think it's just a subconscious thing we do with our attention. It's because of our attention spans.
I think so.
Right? Now, it's not like polyamorous relationships haven't existed before. They obviously have. But this is something you, like, kind of hear more of now.
A lot, to be honest, yeah.
Right? And it's just... And even if it's not... Even if you're not somebody that believes in polyamory... You do see a lot less committed relationships at our age. I mean, that's something that us as single guys, I mean, listen, I'll be honest, we'd be talking about that shit.
I feel like...
You know, like, we have those conversations where we're like, why don't we find anything? And we have friends that are... I mean, I'll speak for myself, I have friends that are way more involved in trying to get into the dating game than I always have been, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it could be a result of dating app culture, but I think it's under the umbrella of, like, people's attention spans. It's not that they're short. We're getting bored of shit fast.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, I imagine if you're polyamorous, you're never bored. But that's also probably not. It's also probably naive to say, because I don't want to. I'm also not trying to downplay the fact that you probably can feel pretty deeply for multiple people at one time. I've actually, now that I think about it, I've actually had conversations with one of my close friends, who I'll say is, like, she's more open than most, I feel like, on relationships and sexuality. Not in terms of, like, she talks about it all the fucking time, but it's just, like, her ideas of it and, like, on marriage and stuff. And she's, like, enlightened me on certain things, and, like, she's told me she thinks that she could have, like, more than one partner. You know, like, if, like, why as humans do we have the ability to only love one person that deeply, right? Like, you know, it's just a mindset thing. So it definitely exists. Like, yeah, it definitely exists, right? Like, there's different forms of it, right?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You know, like, there's platonic love, right?
That's the thing. You could be a polyamorous relationship and not, like, be in, like, love.
So that's probably what it is, right? Like, oh, it's just weird. This is like, is it like, but I wonder what it's like, right? It's like if we were getting married, but I had a best friend who's a girl and we hook up. Like, is that what it's like?
I mean,
that's the only thing is I don't know. I don't know what that would be like.
I mean, no, yeah, I guess that is what it is, right? It's like you're able to, like, step out of your marriage.
Yeah.
But it's, like, not frowned upon, because it's like,
right.
I just don't know how you get there. I'm thinking about it. I don't think I just, like
I'll tell you right now, I know for sure I wouldn't have the ability to do that, because when I'm in this mode of, like, really liking somebody, I like you.
That's what I'm saying.
I want you, you know, like
when people
I don't need anything else,
when
right?
people hear you saying about, like, polyamorous relationships and stuff, like, it's like, oh, I could never do that. Like, usually it's like you're thinking, like, oh, you wouldn't let your partner do that. I don't, like you're saying, I don't think I could physically, like, I can't see myself being able to get married to somebody and then go and, like, sleep with somebody. Like, that's crazy.
And I don't even want to use the word jealous type or, like, jealousy, right? Because she kind of says that, like, oh, the reason why we're not open, it's not a jealousy thing, but it's like, you're mine and I'm yours. Like, it's almost like honestly, I would view it as, like, if I had a girlfriend and I was talking to another girl a little too much, there's a line where you start disrespecting your partner.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a commitment thing. Like, you're committed to somebody. You're not going to be giving somebody else attention. Whether it's emotionally, sexually, like, whatever.
Right. And obviously, maybe there's an obvious. I genuinely don't know. But, like, if you are polyamorous, you obviously don't see it as, like, oh, I'm making my partner jealous right now. Or, like, because I'm talking to my other boyfriend or my other girlfriend, right?
Same thing on the flip side. So it's
right. It's got to be right. It's got to go right. Obviously, they're both open relationships. I got to know what the older sister's view is. Does the older sister think Sally's annoying?
Probably. I would assume so. Because usually, I mean...
Because that's whose opinion matters. Now, they do say at the end of it, my mom and my sister were on my side, right?
Yes. Yep,
few days.
I don't think I was justified in that Sally was being disrespectful.
So gonna get her shit rocked. Now there is an update.
Yes.
Now that we've given our points, I'll read the update. It says update 1. Is there more than one update?
She said, "I'll let you know." That I'm pretty sure you posted something.
It says
another update. Yet.
Update 1. Talk to my sister and brother-in-law. We're gonna get together tonight along with my boyfriend and have a sit-down conversation. So without Sally.
Oh wow.
We're gonna have a sit-down conversation about this. According to my sister, who read the text exchange between brother-in-law and Sally about the situation. What is that?
I guess them like. Oh wait.
Did that?
No,
we didn't read about that.
Sally. Oh, so the sister read the text receipts from the brother-in-law and Sally, who are dating, about the situation. So
right, but I'm saying, did the brother-in-law reach out to Sally and say something?
Sally probably talked to the brother-in-law, said what happened.
Probably.
And maybe it wasn't like conveyed correctly.
Said shit isn't adding up though. According to my older sister, who has read the text, so Sally probably says to the brother-in-law, "Oh, I wasn't hitting on him."
Yes, yeah.
You know, she's, you know, your sister-in-law's sister just being a bitch,
yeah,
probably, right? Shit isn't adding up. Brother-in-law wanted to invite Sally so she could defend herself, and I absolutely view that. See, so now the brother-in-law's in a tough spot. This is your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You probably love, you know. I'm not gonna, you know, I will never ever question the love that two people share. But like, you probably love this girlfriend as much as your wife. Like, you love this girl. You're gonna defend your girlfriend, right? And I absolutely vetoed that. I was not going to have my boyfriend's harasser in the same room as him. So you know, I'm sure your boyfriend was all right.
Yeah. Now here's what I think.
Honestly, if you're the dude, maybe some other dudes wouldn't be able to navigate out of that, but like, I'd be like, honey,
yeah, let's
please.
I
Like,
think she deserves.
I have a girlfriend, respectfully.
I think she
Like,
deserves a chance to at least defend herself.
oh, for sure.
That'd be crazy to have that conversation with.
I will
everybody.
update once I know more. Yeah.
That was 11 hours ago. I doubt it.
Damn. Oh God. You know.
What the fuck she's posting on this shit?
Oh God.
18 plus
Oh God. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think. Man, like,
So clearly what's not adding up?
I'm assuming that it's coming off that Sally was like bullshitting in the text messages.
Keep an eye on this over the course of the week. Maybe we'll come back to it. We'll circle back to it next week, maybe.
Yeah, I assume it was a text conversation. She was either leaving stuff out or wasn't fully telling the truth in some way, shape, or form, or the truth that they believe to be true, because we really don't know. Because we maybe, I don't know, it depends.
Because even the brother-in-law, right? You're not going to swing his opinion because he's polyamorous and that's his girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
So the brother-in-law probably would be like, and this is kind of what he said, like, oh, like, she doesn't mean anything. That's her personality. She's open. She's flirty. Like,
yeah, she's just being,
oh, she didn't mean nothing by that, which is probably true. Maybe I actually don't think Sally did anything wrong.
I'm gonna say, I don't think
we have friends like this, Josh.
Yes, actually.
Like, I'm actually putting myself in the shoes of like times I've been out where I'm like, oh, this girl's kind of getting close. Like,
yeah, it's like, aren't you dating?
I'm trying to say, like, listen. Me and Josh, we're handsome. Like, this happens all the time.
Oh my God, that's
No, I'm
crazy.
playing.
That's so true.
Like, that's what I've been thinking about this whole time. It's like,
we do know people like this,
and that's why I've said, like, as a man, not that I've ever had to be like, yo, you have a boyfriend, or like, hey, I'm taken right now, but like, there's people that have certain personalities where like I wouldn't think anything of this. Right? Yeah. I would go home at night and I wouldn't be like in the group chat like, yo, do you see fucking so-and-so is on me, bro? Like, she's kind of into me like that. You know what I'm saying?
people just act a certain way. Now, if I was dating that person,
those are right.
But
takes a certain type of person to date that, right? You know, like I've been with
like girls that have like a bunch of guy friends. Like, I've never had an issue with that.
Yeah.
But like, as long as you're like handling your shit not in that way, sure.
Right. Wow. Final verdict. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm leaning that the writer of this might be an asshole. And maybe not as far as an asshole, but is like maybe doesn't want to understand what's going on.
I don't think she's giving her enough like room to. And the situation is kind of like fucky once you think about it, but
Right.
The update kind of ruined it for me. Her being like she can't even be there to defend herself. I think she might just be.
You can't you can't not give her a chance.
Yeah, I think she's harboring too many ill feelings about it because she's butthurt about the whole situation with the boyfriend, which could have been completely harmless. We don't know. So.
Right.
She didn't say anything about the boyfriend saying it wasn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's something with that.
I want to hear what the boyfriend thinks.
That's what I'm saying. I think if the boyfriend really had issue with it, then I feel like we would have put that in there.
Like we don't know what the boy like. What's not adding up? Is the boyfriend over there like, yo? She was she asked me to like hook up.
Maybe that's what.
Oh, I love gingers. I'd hook up with you.
I feel like you put that then, right? So I feel like the boyfriend was probably like, oh, I don't think it.
Maybe the boyfriend liked it.
Maybe he fucking did. Maybe that's why.
Maybe Sally's kind of bad.
Maybe that's why she's like, I don't want her anywhere near my boy. You know, we just figured it out. Yeah, she's an asshole. I'm putting it.
Be a little more open-minded.
Yeah, I think there's room for her to.
Those Christmas parties, though, those holiday parties aren't going to be fun.
All 8 of their couples.
Birthday parties, kids parties, be tough. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, what an interesting dynamic. Would love to hear what the family thinks about it. And by family, I mean like not that I'm saying their family's discriminatory, but I'm saying like how when they were at the party, like I'd love to hear what they thought. Like if she was being overly drunk and talking too much about polyamory, I don't know.
Or if it was just
I don't know. That was a good segment. Closing statements, not related to that. How you doing, Josh? What's going on? It's just the two of us, dude.
Locked in.
What's good? We're locked in. I've felt pretty locked in this past couple weeks. To be honest, I had a nice conversation with one of our friends today. Pause it for a second, so I can give you context off air. Yeah. But yeah, so I had a nice conversation today, Josh, with one of our friends. I'm laughing. It's not funny. Because I actually related to him a lot in the moment. But we saw a couple of our friends recently that I'll be honest, I don't see much, but it's a friend group, and sometimes they're the best friendships. Those are the friendships I think are my strongest. I don't need to see you every day.
Exactly.
Now I see you every week. That's not to say our friendship isn't strong, right? But some of my favorite friendships, I'm being dead serious. I'd see my best friends probably the least out of all my friends, besides you and Croft, because now you guys really are two of my best friends, right? But if I had to think of like the 5, 6, 7 guys I can see my best friends, like the ones I like the most, I see the least. And that kind of makes them the best in a way. But one of our friends he hung out with this week, he texted me today. And he was like, I'm going to be honest. He's like, I really needed that. And that was a really cool text to receive because the only reason that I initiated a hangout was because like I needed to see you guys too. Yeah. And like he didn't know that. And that was pretty nice.
You really, honestly, you never fucking know what anyone's going through or how
it made me feel like a really good friend in the moment. Yeah. Because I am. I stand on that business. I'm a fucking great friend. Yeah, no, unfortunately for y'all, if I let you get close, you're going to like me for probably a long time. But I don't give a lot of myself away. I was saying sometimes, I've said on past episodes, I think too many people like me sometimes. I don't like that. Because I don't like giving it all away. But that was a nice text to receive.
You know what's funny?
You needed that too.
I was feeling pretty upset.
Listen, bro.
Actually, I texted Mike yesterday or last...
Croft.
Yesterday. What's yesterday? Friday night.
Yesterday was Sunday, yeah.
And I was like, yo, are you doing it tomorrow? And he was like, oh, I'm doing something with Tom or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I've honestly been feeling sad lately. I need to like get out the house. And
hell yeah. Hit me up.
Do something. And he was like, oh yeah, he told Tom like non-negotiable. I gotta go.
That's dope, dude.
So yeah, no.
I got y'all. But listen. And I'm not gonna talk about what he was talking about, but I'll use it for myself because I was saying I actually kind of need that too. Because like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like the first 6 months of this year kind of sucked. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. This is emotionally taxing, right? Now, I'm not gonna out myself, but like I've had some shit not go my way this past. You know what I mean? And like we're human. I've been feeling a little down too. It was nice. We're coming up in June though.
You to be.
Like Sinatra said, back on top in June. I quite literally shot down in May, back on top in June. I can't wait for my Instagram, because that's going to be the caption. Back on top of you. I was actually going to do Shot Down in May, but I didn't want people to know that I was sad. Yeah. So I did something else. But I'll let you know when I'm on top. It's usually how those things go. No, that's true. But I believe that. You know, it's tough. I feel like men, we heal in silence. Yeah, on a real note. It's still June. It's still Men's Mental Health Month. We do heal in silence. At least I do. And that's actually how I prefer to. Right? Yeah. I prefer to like be working on myself and going to the gym by myself. And like that's why I feel bad sometimes, because like we had a nice spell where we're going to the gym. If I'm in a bad spot mentally, I'm going to the gym by myself. Yeah, it's fair. Okay. And recently I've been going with G-Man every day. Shout out G-Man. And I actually had said to him too, I was like, you want me to be honest? I said, you don't even know how much I've actually enjoyed, because I've said to him, like, I want to help you, but he's actually kind of been helping me mentally, because if I do go to the gym by myself or do things by myself, when I am by myself, sometimes you focus on things for a little longer than you should. So I actually had said to him, like, listen, dude, it's actually kind of nice that you come to the gym with me, because I was like, you don't even know how much it's benefited me to, like, not focus about shit that's been pissing me off. Yeah. Right? So it was nice. It was actually pretty cool that he sent me that text today.
Yo, W fucking friend.
Not G-Man, but different friend. Yo, that was cool though.
W fucking friend.
Yo, but you know what's funny is I say it to G-Man. I do say it to G-Man. I'm like, listen, we got each other, bro. Yeah. Oh, what are we gonna do? Can't ask for much more, right? But yeah, he sent me that. Let me see what else he said, because he said something like, yeah, he said like not depressed, but just like feeling kind of
like in a funk, dude.
Iffy, right? And I actually had kind of said jokingly to Croft's mom, we were here you were in the kitchen. I said, Dawn, I'm wasting my time. Now I'm not actually wasting my time. We have plenty of time. We're young. We have plenty of time. But sometimes you do feel like that. Hard to not think. And me and friend who will remain unnamed like had a conversation about it. And I was like, honestly, you want to know how I've been feeling? I was like, I feel like I've personally been wasting my time, my potential. And I was saying to him, I'm like, something's got to give. We got to start cashing in.
Dude, that is.
Now people
had the same conversation.
I got you.
The other day with Mike. I'm telling you, I was like that. I was not to say I'm like having like a midlife crisis.
Right. Listen, I'm there though too. And see, I think the reason why. Stop me if this just sounds conceited, but I do think the reason why people like talking to me a lot is because I am actually pretty good at like putting my feelings into words. Yes. Not that I try to be relatable, but people are like, "Wow, that was pretty real." I felt that, right? And I do have really good conversations with people about things like this. But I had said to him, honestly, I feel like I've been wasting my time, and nothing's a waste of time. First of all,
in the grand scheme,
okay. There's things to take away from everything if you really sit there and look at it. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm actually wasting my. This is the part I put in there for like if my mom listens. Yeah. Right.
Oh, dead.
But I was saying, it's like, dude, it's like I go to the gym, I feel better than I ever felt in my life. I look fucking great. For me, like I feel great about myself. Right. It's like we're going to work every day. It's like we have to work every day. It's like we have the things as men. We have most of the things as men that we feel like we're supposed to have. Like, it's about time I started, like, actually using that, right? And now, obviously, it depends what you get validation from. It depends, because I don't really need validation from other people, but it's like, geez, like, there's things I want. There's things that we still want that we don't have that we're working towards. And I was saying to him today, it's like, it's tough, because I was like, I actually think we're in a really good spot, and I actually think we are doing all right, but I was like, I don't know, it's just something weird about the world that you always seem like you're not close to what you want, and 100%. We kind of are, right?
And I felt this way for a while, but like there's parts and times where I'm just like I'm bored with the life that I'm living. I'm not bored with life in general. I'm bored with the life.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. I agree.
To be living a different life and leading.
Right, and we kind of talk. Right, and we kind of not to cut you off, but we talked about it like a month ago, and I was talking about like I'm still at home. Like I've had this job for a while. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Like I get caught up in the status quo shit, and I just don't rock with it. And it doesn't like I don't know. There's something like innately inside of me that I'm like I need to do something. I need to do more. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just one of those things.
Right.
And I was talking with Mike, and he actually had a good point. And I was talking about like this stuff.
It pisses me off when Mike has good points.
But I was
because most of the time he says such stupid shit, and sometimes when Mike says something that lands, it really lands for me, and it bothers me. Anyway,
he and I were talking, and like just about the podcast stuff and like where potentially it could go and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, how do you think about it? Like, where do you think it can go, and how do you feel like how do you feel in your mind? Like where you feel like, oh, like you think you like did something with it or whatever. And he was like, you know what, we got together, we started it. That's almost the hardest part in general. We got over that like social anxiety about being in front of a camera. And he was like, you know what, sometimes I almost feel like we already made it in that sense.
100%.
Like,
we've made it to the people that matter to us anyway.
I was about to say that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Like a very good
way. Too bad he doesn't fucking say that shit on air. What the fuck?
He saved it for off air.
The fuck, dude.
The best bits are off live.
Yo, but seriously, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'd been thinking that too. But that was the first thing I said to him. I said, "You want to be honest?" I said, "I needed to see you guys too, bro."
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? You know, like,
it's just sitting down and being with the people that love you.
That's a beautiful thing, dude. We're lucky we have that. Some people don't have that.
No, we have a fat ass friend group too that are all like that,
all right.
Weak-minded.
And we fall back on it when we have to. It's important, right? We joke. Right? That's what I was saying to him too. It's like it's funny to be able to joke about getting ghosted by that chick. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and we do that, but like, I think I have I have a decent ability to laugh at things like that don't go my way, right? And I feel like most of us do in that chat at least. And it's just a good way to look at life, bro. Like,
you need to.
We gotta laugh at it sometimes. You know, we gotta keep trying. So yeah, but yeah, that was a pretty cool shout out. He knows who he is. That was a cool text to receive. But yeah, bro, we're all I don't know, and it's sad because it always takes someone to talk about it sometimes for the next person, like how you just said that too. Like you probably wouldn't have said that if I didn't fucking say anything about it, right? So.
Hello? Yeah.
Josh taking a phone call.
All right, well, good because we got to take pictures too. We're about to end.
Oh, it's Mike.
Yeah, it's Mike.
Oh, nice. That's fine. We should wrap up. I gotta water my plants.
All right.
It's still light out.
What are you saying? Sorry.
I don't really have anything else.
You know, I do want to point out specifically to our friends that are watching this, that are in that group chat. W friend group. I want to say that. Big W for them. Also, W growth, because we don't ever talk about this shit ever.
No.
With each other, with ourselves, really. So it's cool to be able to like sit back and realize. And everyone always says like, "Oh, make sure you talk to your friends. Like, you never know where they're going. This, that, whatever." Like, it's cool that we're at the point now where, as a friend group, as men, because it's obviously like stigmatized, but as men, that we're able to like really be like, "Oh, hey, you know what? I'm feeling type of way."
I mean, that was fucking super. I mean, dead to say that was super cool to get that text.
Yeah.
Because then even after that, I was like, "Wow, what if I didn't do that?"
Yeah, you never know, dude. You really never know. So it's cool.
Like, that sucks. You know? Like, I'm not saying something bad would happen, but I made, you know what I mean? I helped my friend feel good, and I didn't even know. And that was cool. So anyway.
One of those things. You're able to feel good for a couple hours. Like, yeah, maybe you go back home and it all hits you again.
Send a text at one time, you know?
You got that little bit of sanity back.
We're more alike than we know. 100%. That was cool. You were like, yeah, me too, bro. I was like, come on, bro. Dude. Listen, we're all going through stuff. It's tough.
But hey, we know each other.
But that's this week. We'll wrap it up. This has been Diversity Catalog. Thank you for listening. I think it was a great episode. No Mike. Listen.
It got increasingly better somehow. I don't know.
Listen, one of our best episodes was just us. I'm just saying.
It was. The famous two-man.
But we do that. We have different types of talks in Mike. I can't go too deep. Mike, I don't know. I'm not going to shit on Mike. He's not here. We talk about more relatable topics, you and me, I feel like. Anyway, this has been Diversity Catalog. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you listened on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, please rate the podcast 5 stars. Follow our social media at Diversity Catalog on Instagram, TikTok, as well as X. Go forward, spread love, get outside. It's summertime. It's officially summer.
Dude.
Wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 100 degrees in Rhode Island. Crazy. I'm staying inside too. Spread love. Go forward. We'll see you next week. Peace.